Politician, because you didn't listen to the question. What was the question? The question was not about. The question was serious. What is the definition of national interest in relation to the energy? That was the question.
So are you asking for an opinion on what
No.
the stance should be? What are you asking for?
Okay.
You call it metadata languages. I talked about, question was, how do you define national interest when it comes to energy? That was the question I was asking.
All right, well,
So Julian talked about everything else, but about that definition.
Well, I'm happy to talk.
And this is no different to how the politicians talk about it.
I've been trapped and captured by. But I would say that what's in the national interest will be in having the cheapest supply of power, and I think that's what they will make their decision on, and that will be in the national interest. So, getting the balance right to have the cheapest power available.
And the other two panellists, if you would quickly give your own version of the national interest with regard to energy.
Cheap, clean, abundant electrons. Cheap, clean, abundant electrons. That's the national interest. I am going to fall in the trap though, and I don't want to give you oxygen for having gone in a different direction, but I will say this. I'm getting an interesting insight into how politics works in Australia. When Greg Hunt called me at home one night after putting the kids to bed and told me that we should back off on our campaign to save solar, and told me that if we didn't, that he would launch a vicious personal attack against me in the media, and no one likes to see that happen to themselves in the media, he told me. And then he was good to his word and he did. Your faith in the process to come out with a measured, considered, fair, balanced approach for all people is, in my view, naive and completely misguided. The good thing about this country is it's actually we're the people who decide at the end of the day. We elect the politicians, understand we are strong, and use it to best effect.
And Igor, your definition.
Actually, so my definition reflects other definitions, nothing special. It's based on availability, security, and also what's important, in social equality. Because what we know, the difference between rich countries and poor countries is mostly now measured in kilowatt hours per capita, not in dollars, not in cents, not in rupees. So it's the same in Australia. Rich people consume and use much more energy than poor people. Yes, we can in future replace number of dollars with number of kilowatt hours to talk about social inequality. So social inequality, justice, also an important component. Then about national interest of all government, Julian, as you just mentioned. Yes, that's of course you're talking about national interest, but national interest is not an absolute scientific concept. It depends on your political interest, and also it changes from depending on your today's political agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Igor. If I could ask you to pass the microphone down to Mohammed. Now it's time to finish up. It has been a very extensive forum, and I do thank you for your interest and engagement in this topic. It's clearly still a very contentious topic. You can see that there have been a variety of opinions expressed today, but that's a very healthy thing, and how lucky we are, aren't we, to be able to sit down in a room over lunch and discuss contentious issues openly, and perhaps that's one of the things that we should feel most fortunate about having here in Australia. So could I please ask you to thank our three speakers today, Dr. Igor Skrabin, John Grimes and Julian Fitzgerald.